So whether we are investigating chronic failures or sporadic failures, the purpose of the investigation itself remains the same, is to find the root cause of the problem, to learn from it, and to implement solutions to avoid same or similar failures again in the future. The purpose of mishap investigation is not to place blame. Let's start this section by addressing why bad things happen. From a high-level perspective, the human is culpable in some form or fashion in virtually all accidents and incidents. 3 ways humans err: omission, commission, and decision errors. An error of omission is simply not doing something that is supposed to be done. When you leave your car in the parking lot at the hotel and you forget to lock it overnight. An error of omission in aviation, for example, can be forgetting to switch fuel tanks when it is time. Error of commission is when you do something that you weren't supposed to do, or you do something you were supposed to do, but you do it incorrectly. For example, it's when you walk into the bathroom and you go to flip on the light switch, but instead you flip on the fan switch. It's a nuisance, but no big deal. In aviation, by contrast, an error of commission example could be when you have an engine failure in a multi-engine airplane and you feather the wrong engine. Same principle, error of commission. You did something that you were supposed to do, but you did it incorrectly. Decision errors occur for various reasons. We'll discuss many of those during the course. Internal and external pressures can lead employees to cut corners on safety, to expedite workflow, and these external pressures can really have huge impact on decision errors. In aviation, external pressures create get-there-itis that can generate poor go-no-go decisions and very bad outcomes if we're not careful. One error, however, is almost never the sole cause of the accident. Please understand this. The error change phenomenon says that there is seldom an overpowering cause, but rather a number of contributing factors of errors that lead to an accident or mishap. These are the things that we look for during our investigation. We try to get past the obvious causes and get to the root causes, because it's only by fixing the root causes can we hope to mitigate same or similar outcomes in the future. Again, on the bigger picture, when something bad happens, there are usually one of 3 different types of roots. There's physical, human, and latent roots. Physical roots are easy. That's the consequence of the error. What was the bad thing that happened? The airplane ran out of gas and crashed. The physical root. Human roots are the errors that the human involved in the accident made to cause the bad thing that happened. For example, in continuing our scenario of the physical root being the aircraft ran out of fuel and crashed, the human root might be the pilot did not check the fuel level prior to departure, and there was not enough fuel to get to the destination. Latent roots, then, are those things that can sit dormant and idle for a long time. They're hard to detect. Latent roots sit idle until the human roots bring them to the surface in the form of physical roots. You follow that thought process? For example, company procedures do not require pilots to check fuel prior to departure. Training does not enforce visually checking the fuel, and management does not hold pilots accountable to check fuel prior to departure. These are all latent roots that may have led to the reason why the pilot didn't check the fuel visually before departing, which led to the aircraft not having been fueled and running out of gas and crashing. The latent root led to the human root, which brought the physical root to the surface. Usually, almost always, you will find that during accident investigation, you may find just a couple of physical or human roots, maybe just a couple of those, but there are generally many, many more latent roots that contributed to the problem. Your reading assignment included the Department of Energy's root cause analysis guidance document, and in that they give a very good summary of the objective of investigating and reporting. They give that objective in 2 sentences. This is an excerpt from it. But in essence, here are some of the key phrases that are found in that statement. The purpose, the objective of investigating root cause occurrences, to identify corrective actions, to prevent reoccurrence, to protect health and safety, to improve programs, to manage more efficiently, to manage more safely. It's all increasing the status quo. The purpose of accident investigation is to increase the status quo. It is not to place blame. That's not why we're doing investigations of accidents. There are several elements of any root cause analysis investigation. Your Latino text states that 80% of the time that they are asked to assist on an investigation team, the problem presented is not even the real problem that needs investigating in the first place. Many times we are asked to investigate symptoms. That's the things, the tip of the iceberg. We're asked to investigate symptoms of a greater problem, and our job then is to get down to this, the greater problem. The RCA, the root cause analysis investigation, should be able to correlate deficient systems directly to undesirable outcomes. Cause and effect. You have a cause, it leads to directly correlated an effect. Okay, cause and effect is the error change phenomenon. That's the basis of that error change phenomenon that's covered in your text. Cause and effect relationships established during the investigation need to be supported by data that is gathered and preserved. That data substantiates the evidence, substantiates the objective, and it substantiates an objective and analytical, methodical investigation. So that data then supports the cause and effect relationships. Root cause analysis investigation should identify all physical, human, and latent root causes, looking for system deficiencies. We're looking back up the chain, not just the reason that we got to the bang, but also what else came up here, what else was in the system that led to that bang. Okay, root cause analysis investigation should identify all the root causes, physical causes, human causes as well. Not just look for the golden BB or the end product. We cannot stop the root cause analysis process after the last step. After that last step, education without action is useless. Based on lessons learned during the investigation, corrective action must be implemented to address and mitigate root causes and to prevent same and similar events from occurring again in the future. Speaking of lessons learned, now it's time to share the lessons learned. Humans make mistakes. When we know where others have faltered, we can be more diligent in those areas of common errors. Did you ever wonder why the FAA puts common errors section with maneuvers in the practical test standards or the airman certification standards? It is so pilots know where we as humans are most likely to go wrong. We can focus extra diligence, extra cognitive attention in those areas of common difficulty so as to improve our own performance. We figure out those lessons learned and we communicate those throughout the agency in order to enhance that status quo. Finally, back to the beginning to reinforce the last element of these any root cause analysis system is back to the beginning to reinforce. In safety, we do not investigate in order to place blame. Remember that, please. We do not investigate in order to place blame. We investigate to learn from our mistakes, to better our systems, and to enhance safety. Root cause analysis methodology can help ensure a thorough and comprehensive investigation that can get us to those appropriate corrective actions needed to enhance the status quo, to better safety and to better efficiency. In the next video, we will get into an overview of the root cause analysis process.